viewers, often we've had these conversations with our friends, with our family, sitting in the living room, the people around us, discussing just how expensive it is to go for a movie to any multiplex. We all do it. We all go together in big groups of friends, as a big family. It's an outing that's planned well in advance. There's a lot of excitement. But there's always one family member who will be super grumpy about the fact that more than the ticket price, you're spending money if you choose to have popcorn or samosa or maybe just a coffee or Coke. That the food while you're watching the movie is actually more expensive than the ticket that enables you to watch the movie. I'm sure you agree with that. There is always that one person who will tell the family members or even the group of friends that let's eat and go. Let's only have one thing. Let's share this. Why does that have to happen? Why is movie viewing so heavy on our pockets? Can we do something about it? Or is it the price that we pay for the lovely ambience, for the air conditioning, for the comfortable seats? So should we just shut up and watch the movie? This is the big debate tonight. I'm sitting here with an open mind, wanting to know your view. Why are we doing this? Because this evening, a report came out with the details of what the Bombay High Court said yesterday. Now, the Bombay High Court has asked the Maharashtra government to come back with a policy on regulating the food and beverage prices inside the multiplexes. This is what they have told them last month as well, saying that you cannot have such exorbitant prices. The government has sought more time, saying we need to figure out where we have the right, under which legal rule or act, and we will work on a plan. So as the government does that, let's debate this question. Should across the country now, governments decide what the price of your samosa or popcorn should be? That's the big debate tonight.
Many of us may have paid more for the popcorn than we did for that ticket. But did you know that there is no law that prevents you from taking food that wasn't purchased at the theatre? A PIL was filed by Janendra Bakshi, bringing to light the exorbitant pricing of food and beverages in cinema halls. However, the government had taken no steps to regulate the prices of food items that were being sold at exorbitant rates at movie theatres.
का प्राइसेस इतना है और टैक्सेस भी इतना है. हम लोग बाहर से कुछ ले ले तो कम से कम वो अफोर्डेबल तो है हमारे लिए. हम लोग जितना टिकट में खर्चा करते हैं उससे ज़्यादा हम लोग खाने पे खर्चा करना पड़ता है, तो वो प्रॉब्लम है हमारे लिए.
If you consider a normal popcorn, if you buy it from outside, I think the making charges would be 20, but if you go inside, the same charges 300 or 250 bucks.
Bringing from outside, I think so it is not a good idea, but if they will bring the charges down and the service tax which they are levying in additionally should be brought down.
In a move to question the government's lackadaisical approach, the Bombay High Court on June 27th directed the Maharashtra government to file an affidavit within 4 weeks. Well, the Bombay High Court pulled up the Maharashtra government asking why it could not regulate food prices in multiplexes. In fact, the Bombay High Court also went on to say that the prices of food and beverages within multiplexes are exorbitant. In fact, sometimes even more than the movie ticket prices that one pays. In fact, the Bombay High Court has also gone on to ask the state to examine the Bombay Police Act to see if it can actually regulate food prices within multiplexes. With video journalist Nitesh Balachandra for Mirror Now. Mirror Now asks, is it fair to burn the pockets of sincere taxpayers at the cost of entertainment? Let's debate.
We say good evening to Nand Kishore Garg, leader of the BJP, Aditya Pratap Singh, petitioner, sitting here with me in the studios. It's his petition that the Bombay High Court is currently hearing. Bijan Mishra, consumer activist, Tuti Ghosh, RJ and film critic, Priyanka Chavri, a DU student. Of course, if anybody has a right to complain, it's probably the students who struggle the most when they go for movies to multiplexes. And Tehseen Poonawalla, entrepreneur representing the industry view here. Let me go across to Aditya first. Aditya, what is exactly your plea that you filed on behalf of your client? What are you seeking?
Well, being the advocate for the petitioner, we were shocked to see how every day the right to life of the common people is being violated at the entrances of cinema halls. Multiplex owners, they forcefully remove the food articles from the people's possession. They even open the purses of ladies and display all the contents in the public domain so that food articles can be removed. This is a gross violation of the right to life under Article 21, because right to life is the most right to food. The right to carry and consume your own food is the most basic part of the right to life, and this can never be taken away. Further, it is a settled principle of constitutional law, espoused in several Supreme Court judgments, that the right to life under Article 21 cannot be waived under a contract, or it cannot be snatched by anyone. It stays with you wherever you go, and therefore, the very practices of multiplex cinema owners not allowing you to carry your own food, it is bad. Secondly, it is bad for diabetic patients who have to eat every 2 or 3 hours. How will they eat in the middle of a cinema show? And finally, one more malpractice this petition highlights is the practice of hawking in cinema halls. Under Rule 121 of the Maharashtra Cinemas Regulations rules, food cannot be supplied inside the auditorium theatre and no hawking can take place. But today, openly, luxury multiplexes give call buttons at seats. You can call a waiter with a menu. It's an illegal practice. And while the show is going on, to make money, they serve food right to all the patrons. So, in effect, what the law prohibits, multiplexes do brazenly, but what the law does not prohibit, to carry your own food, multiplexes do it just to mint money at the cost of harassment to customers.
Yasin Poonawalla, let's break it down to two aspects that Aditya is highlighting here. The first one, of course, the fact that there may be elderly senior citizens, there may be people who have a medical condition who would need that food, and you're taking away their right to carry their own food when they go for movies. The second, of course, is the exorbitant prices for the food that you've kept there. So you've taken away my food, and I'm compelled to buy what you're offering me, and at a price that you decide. Is that fair?
So, Tanvi, first of all, I am so glad that Aditya is the lawyer for the petitioners, because if he's the lawyer and this is going to be his argument in the honorable court, the case is going to be lost. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing. He's saying under Article 21, right to life, Kesavanand Bharati judgment, everyone's read that. I mean, not allowing to get outside food. I'm inside your studio. I'm not allowed to eat food inside your studio right now while I'm sitting with you, Tanvi. Is my right to life being violated? I mean, what is this? I mean, let's not make a mockery of constitutional law. Point number two, he, as far as putting costs is concerned or controlling costs, please understand why this cannot be standardized is, while it may be extremely popular and I'm extremely unpopular for taking this stand, please understand real estate rates vary from Delhi to a small village in India. Number two, there are local taxes. Despite of GST, local taxes are applicable on multiplexes. That's been kept outside the purview of GST. Point number three is there will be other local body taxes that are applicable depending upon the area. Within Mumbai itself, the Mumbai main area versus the outskirts of Mumbai have different local body taxes. So at the end of the day, if I am giving a service to a consumer, it is very clear. You want to come to my place, you're more than welcome to come. You don't want to come, you're more than welcome to go to another place which you may find affordable. You cannot put a gun to my head and tell me, please, you cannot charge this or you can charge this.
But
the simple point being,
at least in the bigger cities, where do I have the choice?
How is, please understand the...
Where do you have the choice in bigger cities? It's all multiplexes.
I cannot tell Mirror now.
It's all multiplexes.
Can I tell Mirror now? Can I tell Mirror now? Do not take...
It's all multiplexes. It's all owned by a bunch of people and they're deciding now.
Let me break this down, Tanvi. Can I tell... Okay, let me just break this down in one last line. Can I tell Mirror now that please do not take so many advertisements because you are not allowed to make profit. However, you have to run into a loss-making channel like XYZ competitor of yours, so you are not allowed to take advertisements.
There are rules in terms of number of advertisements that I can carry in a given hour. So there are rules.
But those rules don't apply to what you're charging to your prime time rate. Do those rules apply to your prime time rate? No, no government says in your prime time show, Tanvi's show, which is very popular, the rates have to be capped at this. No government says that. You are free to charge. It's a market.
That's if for advertisers, not for our viewers, not for the common man.
I advertise. I can't go to a bank.
Bijon Mishra, does that make sense to you?
No, Tanvi, let me bring it in a correct perspective in terms of consumers' rights. You see, the consumer has a right to choose. There has to be choice. You see, the cinema halls have been given license for exhibiting movies. They have not been given license to sell food there. But while they want to supplement their business, because of various reasons, they want to have a minimum return on their investment. And if they want to start a stall to sell food, they should be allowed to sell that. But it should not be made compulsory and mandatory for the viewers or the consumers to go and buy only from them. There has to be choice. We must ensure that I should be able to take my own food. I should be able to buy samosas from outside and take it inside, because I find the price unaffordable which is sold in the cinema hall. So I should have that choice. That's number one. Number two, the government cannot start interfering in regulating prices of every product and commodity in the country. Please understand that there is something called competition. We have to encourage competition, which has to be fair, which has to be ethical, and we have to encourage competition in a manner that it empowers the consumers to make a choice. And that is what we have always fought for, that while you make money, that's fine, you can have huge profit out of certain product or service, but it is not necessary that I have to go to you to buy. I must have options available with me. So the court is wanting a policy on that from the government. They want that in 4 weeks' time, the government should come out with a policy which enables consumers who are going to these multiplexes not to be forced to buy food from their stalls, but should be allowed to bring their own food if they need it for any reason of their health ground or any kind of a reason, like we used to carry peanuts inside the cinema hall when we used to be in college days and enjoy the movie while eating moonfully. So like that,
they didn't check bags then? They didn't check your bags and take away the peanuts then?
No, that is what I'm trying. You see, what I am trying to tell you is that I should be allowed as a consumer to take food and enjoy and entertain myself those 2 hours or 2.5 hours. But I cannot be compelled to say to do that. You can't take food inside. You have to buy that expensive food from our stall. That is not fair. That is unfair trade practice. That is coming under a kind of a compulsive selling, which is actually defined as unfair trade practice under the Consumer Protection Act. And it is also against the competition law. You have to give choice. Right. You have to give choice.
Aditya, you want to say something before I go to the other panelists?
Now, freedom of choice. Multiplex owners say that to allow food inside cinema halls would violate the right to do trade and business. I say how? Are we asking you to shut down your canteens? No. Business means choice. You either buy or you don't buy. You can buy from outside, you can get your own home cooked food, or you can buy from the cinema hall canteen. In fact, if a multiplex owner keeps a viewer inside for 3 hours, makes him hungry and leaves him with no other option than to buy from his canteen, this is not business, this is coercion, and such an act is neither protected under the Constitution nor it is protected under the Indian Contract Act.
Okay, Aditya is using
coercion is not business.
Tanvi, I have to put in a line because this is actually humorous now.
No, so let me put it across in a different way.
I kidnap you. No,
let me put it across in a different way.
I am not forcing Mr. Aditya, just a second, because your viewers will be misled. I am not forcing Mr. Aditya to enter my multiplex and sit there for 3 hours and leaving him hungry. Okay. He chooses to come there. Once you choose to come there, how are you saying it's coercion? I am forcing you to sit there.
So let me rephrase it. Let me rephrase it.
Food in your house and come.
I'll turn it around in another way. Where is the choice? How many reasonably priced single screens or multiplexes are there? You're not giving me choice. One, you're not giving me choice. Two, I came to your place, to your multiplex to watch a movie.
Not to sell food.
Yes. I came to the multiplex to watch a movie.
Let me answer
now you're defining what I should eat or shouldn't eat and where I should get it. Tomorrow you'll start putting a dress code up for it as well. That's not the point.
So let me answer that. Let me answer that very simply.
Infringement in my freedom.
No, let me answer that.
Choice.
There are multiplexes.
I have to have a choice.
Mr. Mishra, please. I think the question is directed to me. Let's have some decorum on the debate. Thank you, Mr. Mishra. Tanveer directed the question to me. There are multiplexes
No,
that
please
have
don't
food
teach
courts.
me.
There are
Don't teach me
multiplexes that
decorums.
have,
Don't teach me decorums. Don't
Let's
teach
see
me
what the law
decorums.
is.
It'll
Right,
be very,
let's put it in
I mean,
black and white.
he's a senior
Okay,
citizen. Can you please ask him?
Yes, let's listen to what he has to
The
say,
law is
Mr.
very
Mishra.
clear.
Thank you.
The
Thank
law
you.
is
I'll
very
just answer
clear.
the question in short.
You cannot adopt unfair trade practice. The law is very clear.
Tanvi, the question
you
was
cannot
directed to
adopt
me. Can I
unfair
please
trade
Yeah,
speak?
1 minute,
practice.
Tehseen.
Simple. Simple.
Okay,
You
all right,
cannot-
Mr.
you
Mishra now.
cannot
Let's listen
encourage
to
unfair
Tehseen.
trade practice. Simple.
Yes, Mr.
You have
Poonawalla.
only one tape to say, which is anyways challenged in court, and that is not the position in law. Anyways, let me now explain to you. Tanvi, for example, in certain multiplexes, there may be food courts. Now, food courts, for example, in a place like Mumbai or Delhi, the real estate it will be much more expensive than, say, in a smaller place. Now, let me give you an example of one more thing. The gentleman, I think Mr. Mishra himself said that you do not have permission to sell food. You're only showing movies. No, you have food permission. You have licenses from the local municipal authorities and local bodies. You pay for those licenses. For example, a multiplex of my partners has a Japanese restaurant. Can you now force him, Tanvi, that he has to sell sushi at a particular rate, or he has to compete with, say, a five-star hotel?
Does the license permit you to stop others from bringing their food?
Argument going. I come back to my last point, Tanvi.
No,
if I'm allowed to make my last point, I come back to my last point. Can I? Please, Mr. Mishra, can you stop interrupting and have a civilized debate? Thank you, sir. My last point, Tanvi, is simply this before I end.
Don't divert the topic.
Tanvi, it's very disturbing.
Finish quickly.
My last
What's your
point that
last
I'm making,
point?
Tanvi,
Yeah.
is can I come back, and I'm repeating my point, can I come back and force Mirror now at 10 p.m. to cap their advertising rates at a certain rate, despite it being the most popular show on television, and they have to give the same rates as some low-cap channel in, say, a village in India's giving? I can't do that. It's not acceptable.
The
right to watch, tomorrow Mr. Aditya will say the right to watch television is a fundamental right. My right to life is being affected if I don't watch television.
Right to life is
Going
very
across
wide
to our
ambit.
other panelists. Going across to our other panelists. Let me understand what Mr. Garg's view is. Let me understand what Mr. Garg's view is. Mr. Garg, in Maharashtra at least, the Bombay High Court has told the government, please go to the drawing board, make a plan and come back. But what is your view? Should this, if the government has to come in with a rule about regulating food and beverage prices or even ticket prices for multiplexes, should that be across the country? We've already seen that it's happening in few other states.
I appreciate you for coming to this channel at prime time for regulating the exorbitant prices of the food items. I fully agree with the petitioner that this should be exploiting, should be stopped here with. Rate should be maximum of the MRPs, and the argument of the cinema owners or the multiplex owner is, I think, is not only absurdity. To the extent of absurdity he is arguing, because the most of the multiplexes are now running on 30-40% capacity only, because the rates of the tickets are so high and the food items are just the rate of the double. If the youngsters go there and buy a ticket of 250, he spent rupees 500 for food item. But a person like me or a person of higher age, they cannot spend so much. They want, because of the diabetic or the other medical problem, they want to eat simple food, and it is not available in the cinema halls. Why it is not allowed to take the food or the any drink in the cinema hall?
So Mr. Garg, you represent the BJP. Your party is in power in 20 states. Why don't you make a rule that solves this problem, and not just in Maharashtra, where the court has told you to, but in other states also?
It's a state subject.
This problem is all over India, and particularly in the cities and the metro cities, and I think it is the right time for the other governments to follow this, and central government, I will ask my colleagues in the central government also to frame policies so that the consumer interest should be protected. Consumer is the boss. The philosophy should be always there. It was said by Mahatma Gandhi, Upbhokta Bhagwan hai. Parantu in today's time, everybody is having its hand his or her hand in the pocket of the other, and capitalism is, I think, in a very bad manner. We are exploiting the one person is exploiting the other.
But yeah, I just want to point out, you may be of that view,
litigants.
but the government was told by the court last month. The government came today and said we need more time to figure this out.
Not just last month. Since January, government has received 3 extensions.
The government will
January
come
to
with
April,
the
April to
guidelines
May.
and the rules.
They were to in fact file the policy by the 12th of June. But now, citing the upcoming monsoon session, they took the date of 25th of July. At least let's hope so now the government adheres to its timeline. In fact,
too sure.
on 29th of May, the Home Department even conducted a meeting of all the stakeholders.
I'm not too
to
sure
determine
because
the roadmap.
When it comes to government taking such
Who's the Home
decisions,
Department to decide what I
Tehseen's
sell my
friends could be
samosas
very,
for?
very persuasive in what they think is it lies in the interest of the industry as well. So we will have to wait and watch which way the government goes when it takes this decision. But I want to go across to Priyanka. Priyanka is a student in Delhi University. Priyanka, we were just trying to map out, what exactly is the expenditure for one person if they go for a movie. You go for a 3-hour movie, you pay about $250–300 in metro cities at the least for the ticket. Then about $250 if you want a small box of popcorn. If it's the tub, it could go up to $500. Then if you want
no, it's more than that.
It's more than that. All right. On weekends, I'm sure. That. Then factor in a bottle of water or Coke. Factor in perhaps a samosa or something else. And that's just one person. And if it's a family, then that into 4 times at least, 4,000, 5,000 gone just like that. How do you guys manage these days as students, Priyanka?
Yeah, I think that as a student and the kind of cinema that we are subjected to, it's very relevant these days. And there's a large chunk of population of this country that is giving a tremendous and huge business to the industry and also to the cineplexes and the PVRs and the Inox theaters that we have now. So there is a great business and there's a lot of zeros behind 1 or 2 or 100 that these people are earning out of us. So I think as stakeholders, they should also take on the responsibility that since their business is growing, so they should revert back it to the people who are more interested in watching movie. Like as a student, if I talk about Delhi University, there are more than like 1.5 lakh bona fide students that are registered in Delhi University, that are studying in Delhi University, and more than 60% students are from different states that are residing in PGs, or they have as paying guests, they are living in Delhi University, and they get a monthly pocket money. Right? They get a pocket money, and in that they have to give the rent also, they have to take care of their studies also, and then this leisure time that they take out to have some fun with friends. So the price is actually very high if I talk about the tickets and the food that is being delivered outside the theaters and the cineplexes. The prices is very high. I think as a student, I would say that at least students should be given some concession passes so that they can actually enjoy and balance between the studies and the leisure time. And also there should be a universal policy by the government as the Bombay High Court, and I would really like to applaud and appreciate the petitioner who's brought this issue into light, and we are actually talking about it, and it concerns the consumers and the students. So yeah.
Tanvi, please understand, I completely agree with what Priyanka is saying. I'm absolutely on board with her. Now, as if a multiplex owner wants to give students a special package, which lots of multiplexes do, you are not forced to eat inside the multiplex. Please come watch your movie and go. Water is freely available, always available, filtered water as per the law of the land. You can get water available any place. That is available. The point is there are student tickets,
but
you can do it, you can watch a morning show.
But the fun of the movie is to sit with a tub of popcorn. 1 minute. Everybody is talking together.
The gentleman from the BJP.
May I? In my own show, I'm going to raise my hand and ask for permission to speak, please. Yes, thank you. I'm just saying, the fun of watching a movie, especially if it's a masala Bollywood movie, is to sit with a tub of popcorn and munch through the movie. Now, you're literally taking away from my experience by telling me that you're only going to get that popcorn for $500, take it or leave.
No, Tanvi. There are multiplexes and there are cinema halls that will give you at a more reasonable price that's affordable to you. And you're free to go there. If I am giving you 5-star service, somebody said average price of ticket is 250. Somebody I know, their multiplex charges 800 rupees average ticket.
A multiplex which is 30 kilometers away.
You have a red carpet entry, you have valet service. You are free to enjoy what you want. End of the day, the choice of the customer. You want to pay 800 for a ticket, or you want to pay 50 rupees for a ticket, 500 for a tub of popcorn, or 50 rupees for a tub of popcorn.
I am very impressed by your hypocrisy.
Number two, very
Mr.
important.
Tehseen, I am very impressed by your hypocrisy. When I come to Article 21, a few years back, when the beef ban came in, Mr. Tehseen, when the beef ban came in, you moved the Supreme Court for your right to life under Article 21. You said it was a right to life under 21.
This is not one of those channels, please. This is not one. We're not going to have a loud, noisy debate where we yell over each other. It's an important issue. It matters to everybody.
Hold on, I'll make my last
let
point.
Tehseen finish, please. Then Mr. Bijon Mishra and then Aditya can speak.
Said,
yes, Tehseen.
Yeah, Mr. Nand Kishore just said that people should be allowed to get simple food from home. The definition of simple food will define differently for different people. For example, Tanvi, you may enjoy bhat and rice, dahi and rice. Somebody may enjoy sambar and rice. Now they're going to get it inside a multiplex. I have to clean it. It's going to be dirty. There has to be a certain amount of standardization. How can this be allowed in my private property? Can I get food from outside because I need simple food inside your studio and dirty? I mean, let's have some amount of logic here when we debate something. Let's not get carried away by sentiments. And let's not bring everything under right to life. Then under right to life, watching TV is my right to life.
Okay.
I will die without watching TV.
Now you're repeating your point. So, Mr. Bijon Mishra, we are being told that you can't get food from home because who's going to clean it up once you are gone from the theatre? I saw some reports where multiplex representatives had been quoted as saying, we don't allow outside food for security reasons. I don't know what security reasons make dal rice threatening, but so if there is a person who is diabetic who may need something to eat at some point of time, can't come to the movie theatre.
But
Mr. Mishra,
everything is scanned. How could there be security reasons behind it?
That is exactly.
No, there is no scanner.
Mr. Mishra,
that is why there is a.
Yes, go ahead.
Tanvi, that is why there is a need to bring clarity. That is why there is a need to bring clarity in terms of the regulation. And that is what the court is saying. The Honorable Bench of the High Court of Mumbai is saying, please bring forward a policy which will bring clarity in terms of the functioning of the cinema halls, which is missing in our country. And that is what we want to, because I again will take you back to my college days, when there was a concession given to the students. We used to show our I-card and we used to get concession in movies. When we used to go for movies in Banaras, when I was studying in BHU. So they had particular kind of a timing when the students can watch a movie so that they don't bunk the class to watch movies. So what I am trying to say is that there were policies of the state government which allowed and regulated the exhibition of movies in the theatres.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, the law enforcers are not looking at these issues in a manner which they should look at. And that is why all these kind of unfair trade practice is being adopted and encouraged. And this is what is happening. And we knew that one day this is going to happen because they are charging exorbitant price.
Okay.
So if they would have allowed a choice to me, and nobody is stupid to carry a sambar and rice to the cinema hall. Come on,
reasonable man of ordinary prudence.
These are all stupid examples.
BJP guy just said it. It's a BJP.
So the point is that if a person wants to carry a roll, if he wants to carry a samosa,
Aditya,
if he wants to carry popcorn,
well, I'll make two quick submissions here.
We just have very small little demands. Just let us enjoy the movie with some popcorn.
See, first of all, on Mr. Tehseen,
these are all absurd examples.
Aditya.
On Mr. Tehseen Poonawala's comments, I'm impressed by his hypocrisy. In 2000, when the government earlier banned beef, he moved the Supreme Court alleging his right to life under Article 21. He said it is my right to life to consume the food I want, including beef. Now fast forward, when the government bans a food product, you shout Article 21. But when corporates and big multi-crore corporates, they ban food products, you suddenly adopt a different stand. This is sheer hypocrisy. Second, coming to the issue of security. Today, even you can carry your own food inside airlines. Because at the airport, the CISF is there. They check in the X-ray scanner, no gun, no bomb, no bullet. You can carry and consume a sandwich in the aircraft. But today, at the entrance of multiplexes, you will not find an X-ray machine. You will find guards so that they can open your bag, take out the food items and then make money inside, which is installing a X-ray scanner is 2 or 3% of the cost of a screen, but multiplexes deliberately don't do it. Now third, multiplexes have come up with a variety of reasons to defend their stance. They say it is our private property, we can impose any condition we want, and the ticket is a contract between the multiplex and the viewer. I say no, for the simple reason, Article 21 amounts to public policy. Many Supreme Court judgments, Olga Tellis judgment, the Puttu Swamy judgment, any agreement in violation of Article 21 is a violation of public policy, and therefore under Section 23 of the Indian Contract Act, such an agreement becomes void. Second, Second, one more point. These are standard.
One by one.
Yes.
I will forget what you said, and then Tehseen will respond, and I won't know what he's responding to. Yes, Tehseen Poonawalla. Before I go to our viewers on the phone line.
Okay, this is extremely funny, but let me just come to the basic points. Please understand what Mr. Mishra is saying is little correct, but see, if I allow somebody to get water or juices inside, chances are they'll mix alcohol inside it. I cannot sip, because then the lawyer out here on your plan will go running saying my right to life is violated because you sip from my bottle of water, my juice. And if you serve alcohol inside the multiplex, my license is suspended. So you have to buy it from myself, or you get water